Let go of me, bro. I'm a boss, bro. Bro, please. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. Look. Chill.
Hey guys, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Coda if you don't know me, and if you do know me, welcome back. I am really excited to film, also feeling a little nervous because it's been so long since I filmed. Tonight we are spending the evening together. I don't know what I'm gonna do after. I may go somewhere to eat, but I don't know. I cooked so much last night that I'm like, why would I go to eat when like I have food in the fridge? We'll see. I don't know. But there's a lot that I want to talk about, and I wanted to show you my everyday makeup routine. There will be probably some things that I'm doing today that I don't actually do every day, but this has been my routine for, I would say maybe since like November. I've definitely been getting ready for school every day because I do believe that, you know, when you get ready, you usually do feel better in the day. At least for me, that's not the case for everybody. But I have noticed that, and it also gives me that time to myself in the mornings that I just don't get any other time of the day. So I already put my primer on, which is the CoverGirl skin, what is this called? Skin Enhancer Primer in Velvet Blur. I love this stuff. I just switched over to this primer from the e.l.f. one. I really like the e.l.f. one too, but I really like this one. For my base, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow, which all the writing is scratched off of it, but this is in the shade 6. I like this because I'm not crazy about foundation. Like, I don't like the feeling of foundation on my face or like so much makeup on my face. And also, I generally have a hard time matching to my skin tone. Like, this looks orange. I swear it's not actually this orange in person. But I generally just always have difficulties matching to my shade in foundations. So, I mean, where do I start with things I need to talk about? Maybe I will start with, well, first I'm in a new space, if you have not noticed. So I moved out of my old apartment for many reasons. One of the main ones being that there was a pest issue. Now, I don't know how everybody else lives their lives, but bugs, yeah, the landlord that I was with pretty much tried to gaslight me into thinking that like this is a normal thing and that I am overreacting, and that the issue wasn't as bad as it was. But like, for context, they were like really big centipedes, like this big, and centipedes are fast. Like, these aren't small little bugs, like, no, they're huge. And another thing is, like, there were problems with the ceiling, like not ceiling, but like sealant on my front door. And so I think that's where they were coming in from. And like, I just had a really bad experience with the property management company. I'm gonna pause on that story for a second, but I usually spray my brush with the e.l.f. spray. I mean, it doesn't matter which spray I use, I don't think. But I feel like, I don't know if this does anything, but I've seen a lot of people do it, and one day I just started doing it. But yeah, so I moved from there, and I really had to advocate for myself, because I mean, I did this all on my own, like moving, in terms of like setting it up and like signing the lease and all of that. Like, a lot of it was me, and so I had to really be on them and like do my research on policy to know how I could get out of my lease. And I did get out of it, but I really was not myself in that time that I was living in that space. And I was definitely going through it, which is why you never saw a vlog from me. I'm gonna pause again just to say that I'm about to put my concealer on. So I love the Rare Beauty concealer. This is in the shade 430W, and then I also have the shade 400. I'm gonna mix them because like this one's almost done. So I had to advocate for myself and get out of that place. Thankfully though, I did have like support from like my mom, my partner, and I honestly felt embarrassed really talking about it with anybody else because, you know, you move away and all of this sort of happens, and like you don't want to seem like, you know, you messed everything up, or like it made me feel like a failure that I couldn't just like stick it out in that place. But honestly, like the mental toll that it was taking on me, like I could not stay in that space. There are a number of reasons why I was living in my original apartment, and part of it was like I had never done apartment hunting before. Housing in the area that I'm at is not amazing, and rent is really high in apartment buildings. Ironically, I am in an apartment building now, but part of why I picked the place that I did was it was cost effective, and then I also didn't really want to live with a roommate. I do have a roommate now, and she's great, but that's what was going on. And I was like living in a hotel very briefly because of how bad it had gotten at where I was at, and I definitely felt very alone. Not that I was alone, but it was just like, you know, I signed the lease, I found this place, I picked here, and then now like I uprooted everything and brought all my things back home over winter break, and then moved again at the beginning of the year to come here. So I don't have my record player here with me like I did at the first apartment, and a lot of things have sort of changed. The benefit, I think, of me going through that experience is that I definitely, like, adulthood hit me like a truck. And I never had more of like a shock that like, okay, like this is up to me. Like there's nobody that is going to help me out of this situation and like find me somewhere else, or like just like a lot of it was me. I did have people to help, which was great. Like my partner helped me, family, friends helped with the moving process, my parents helped with moving, which was great. But like the process of like going on tours and doing all of that in such a compressed time span definitely took a toll on me. And at the same time, like I'm also in school at this time, I'm also teaching at this time, and like applying for a bunch of different things, applying to PhD programs at this time. So there was just so much happening in my personal life that I was definitely struggling, and the last thing on my mind was like, oh my gosh, hey guys, welcome to my channel. By the way, I'm using the Sephora brow pencil right now. So that's what was going on. And then also I mean, so those of you who don't know, I'm a political science major, and I'm doing my master's in political science, and recently got accepted to PhD programs in political science. And I mean, everything that I consume in school and outside is related to politics in a way or another. And I feel like definitely the last few months has been very heavy. I mean, things have been happening before this time period that I'm referring to, but it felt a little tone deaf to film like and act like these things aren't occurring and aren't affecting like me in some sense. And I mean, I do definitely still feel that way, but I do feel like I'm getting better with coping with this state of the world, as like grim as that sounds. But I've missed filming so much, and I was even nervous to turn on the camera today, but I forgot how much I love this. Like, it's so fun. I need to touch up my eyebrows, so it was kind of hard for me to fill them in, but I'm just gonna use the Rare Beauty concealer to carve out my eyebrows. Do I know how to fill them in fully? I mean, they're filled in. Do they look great? Sometimes. This is like, okay, this isn't my best. It's not my best. But I always feel like my eyebrows look crazy anyways until the rest of my makeup's done. God, this is not my best. I don't know what's happening here. Those are like my school updates and definitely where I've been. Now we can continue with like exciting stuff and finishing off my makeup. So I let this concealer like sit on my face for a while, so I'm gonna go in with the Morphe Shapelifter contour stick. This one's a little dark for me, but I used to use the Fenty stick in, I have it, Truffle, but it's almost done. And since I'm not like, I'm just going to the movies, I'm trying to savor it. So I'm just gonna blend that out. But aside from me moving, like, I think that doing my master's and living away from home definitely was like such a big shift for me. And I'm not like super far from home, but I couldn't like make last minute plans and be like, hey, like, let's do this, you know? I do enjoy like my solitude and spending time alone. But oftentimes I find that like when I'm spending time alone, I creep into like, you know, I could be doing work right now. It's hard for me to relax in my alone time and feel that that's okay, I guess would be the right word. Okay, this might look crazy, but trust me, it's not gonna look crazy when I'm done. But you can see the lines on my face. I'm going to carve my face a little bit. I'm actually gonna use this Morphe concealer I got in Toffee. And I've actually never really used it, but I would usually just put powder, but I feel like I might have put a little bit too much of the Morphe contour, so I feel like powder's not gonna, alone isn't gonna do the trick. Snatched. As I was saying before, I did get accepted into PhD programs, which is so crazy because like I've always really loved being a student, and getting my PhD has been a goal of mine for a long time, since my undergrad. And I genuinely just enjoy being a student. Like, I think I wasn't ready to just go into the workforce after I graduated. I mean, I know some people will like take time off in between doing degrees, but I feel like, you know, when you have the momentum and you don't feel burnt out, why not just do it all? So that's where I'm at. It's so like, I don't think it's fully sunk in to me yet, but I will be moving again in the fall for school, which is gonna be exciting. I did pick a school. I mean, they don't know yet. I haven't accepted formally, but I made my decision and I'm excited. It's a place I've never lived in before and it's further from home. But I'm excited, and I didn't want, you know, the being far from home aspect to drive my decision, because ultimately, like, this is a large move for my career and I didn't want to feel like I was making the decision based on emotion instead of strategy or like, you know, actually thinking through the decisions. Now that our base is basing, I'm going to go in with my blush. This is the Rhode blush in Toasted Teddy. This shade was recommended to me by a friend, and she knew what she was talking about. She knew what she was talking about. I realized I put on a little too much blush, so I just put some concealer to balance it out a little bit. Now I'm gonna go in with powder. I don't have a signature powder that I like or use. The e.l.f. HD powder is one that I used to use, and I wasn't really using translucent powder for a little while, but I just started using it again and I was like, why did I ever stop using it? Like, what? my makeup has been looking so much better. And I like this one. I don't remember this being this good when I used to use it. So I don't know if it's the same formula, but I started using this powder again. And before this, I was using the Morphe translucent powder, which I like that one. Not that I don't like this one, but that one used to be my go-to. This was just what was available and good price. Now I'm going to spray. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Stay All Night spray and then the NYX Plump Finish. And then after that, I always put on my mascara after. Otherwise with the setting spray, it just bleeds. This is the One Size lip liner in Coin Collector. I always get compliments on this lip liner. It's my favorite and I've been sticking to it for a while now, honestly. It's really good, and my problem with brown lip liners usually is that they kind of look red and they never look like brown, but this is a brown lip liner that actually is brown. It's not like a crazy expensive lip liner. I used to use the Kat Von D, well, it's actually not even called that anymore. It's called KVD Beauty, I think now, or like something else, K something. Anyways, I used to use that lip liner, their brown one, in Crucifix, I think it was called, and that was my go-to, but it was like $30 or like $39, which is crazy for a lip liner. And the One Size one I think is $19, which is pretty good. So this is the makeup, and this is usually how I do my makeup every day. If I were like going out on the town, I would do under eye liner, but I'm actually going to pick out my outfit for the movies and then we'll get ready to go soon. It is now 12:06, as you can see, if it focuses. Yeah, it's 12:06 now. I just walked back from the theater. That theater is really cute, but honestly, it's been a while since I've filmed in public, and like I didn't want to like record anybody and like bring out my big camera, so I got some clips on my phone, not much, but it was an interesting movie. So I know that it's an adaptation of a movie, of a book, but I did not read the book. My thoughts on the movie, interesting. It's kind of like, I kind of felt like it was like, I don't know how I feel. I don't think I know how I feel. It was enjoyable. I did get emotional at parts. I didn't cry, but it was a good movie. I think Jacob Elordi's performance is really what was striking me. Like his scenes, there were a couple of scenes where like I felt like the tears, my eyes were watering, but not to the point of like crying, but his performance was really good. I like Margot Robbie. I think her character is kind of unlikable, so it's like hard, but I guess she did a good job at her performance if it was hard to like her character when I usually do like her. And what's funny is like, so there's part of the cast is a character named Nellie, and it kept making me think of Babylon, which is one of my favorite movies, and Margot Robbie, her character's name is Nellie Roy in that movie, and every time she kept saying Nellie, I just kept thinking of Babylon. But that's a nice reminder. It's one of my favorite movies. I love it, love it, love it. And I think that it definitely was slept on when it came out. Anyways, I'm going to get ready for bed now, but thank you guys so much for joining me in my evening. I think this was good for me. I've actually never got to the movies by myself. I didn't realize that I hadn't done that, but it was fun, and I had a good time. I was worried that like I was gonna be like, so when I ordered my ticket, I was in the second row and I was scared of being super close, but I honestly wasn't. Like where I was good, but there were only 3 seats available, and I was so scared that like the other people who had booked seats, like I was gonna be in the middle of like 2 couples, and they were all women, like so it was funny because there were like girlfriend groups that were there. I love going to the movies when an audience is super expressive and like reacts to everything, and this is definitely an audience with expression. Probably because I live in like a university town, so a lot of people are young that are here, but it was good. So thank you guys for joining me. I missed filming so much. I hope that this was an enjoyable video. If you enjoyed it, like it or don't, doesn't matter, whatever, no pressure, you know what I'm saying. I will see you guys in my next video. See ya. Peace out, homies. Bye.